Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm going to be going over the newest Frank Ocean album that had dropped. Apparently, he dropped 2 albums. I don't really know. I know that for sure one album dropped, so that's what I'm going to be going over. If he does drop the second album, then I'm sure you guys can expect another tutorial on that one. And also a Tory Lanez video. I've just been super duper busy. My friend just flew back from Toronto. So it's been a hell of a week and so much work, so many beats, and I look forward to getting back on the YouTube thing. Anyways, guys, let's get into it. Now, I took, this time instead to kind of recreate a mixture of all the tracks. The one that this most influences would be Ocean or Nike, Nike's on the newest album, and I'm gonna talk to you guys, basically like how I went about getting this kind of feel, because sometimes I know that people can learn in different ways. So that's what I'm doing in this one, is just giving you guys an overall mostly done product, and then I'm gonna be, we're just reviewing it. So let's listen to it, and you guys can hear. So yeah, that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's definitely a very soft track, and that's really what I think Frank Ocean likes the most, because he is a softer kind of singer, and he's really like more of an R&B-ish kind of guy. So let's go over that first sound. As no surprise, I'm using my own sounds. This is just called the Silent One Clarity Bank, and I actually have Volume 2 coming out like maybe this month, probably next month. I'm not too sure. Just be sure to follow me on Twitter at @itsdmarch to get all the updates on that kind of stuff. Anyways, doesn't really matter which sound you use. I'm just using my own sounds. And this is the first sound. And to get this kind of like a bouncy feel, I sidechained it with gross beat. So here's the sound originally, like no effects or anything. It just wasn't quite doing it for me. It wasn't very bouncy. And with this gross beat sidechain, I was able to, just get the feel that I had wanted from the track. And then I added a second sound, which is from Silent One again, another one of my sounds, Rodeo. I've been trying to use other sound banks, or just VSTs in general, instead of just Electra X, because I don't want to feel like I'm limiting the production you guys can make. You can really make anything with any VST. These are just my VSTs that I use. And I went for a very, very like standard kind of pad. It only moves down one, and then this part it just goes for like, what is that, 2 bars, or I don't really know the terms, but yeah. And then to really get that soft melody in the background, I went to Omnisphere, and I used one of my old sound banks that I don't use too much. I used this pad Old Days sound, and I just layered that really softly. And like I said, guys, I'm kind of trying something a little bit new. Also, Frank Ocean tracks are a little bit challenging. I can't really make them in 5 or 10 minutes, and I didn't want to have too many pauses in this video, so that's kind of why I went about this one and made it a little bit beforehand. And I'm trying to break down to you guys what exactly I had done to get that. But you guys can let me know whether you even like this kind of style. I know that most people probably enjoy from scratch, but like I just said literally 30 seconds ago, it's pretty challenging to do. Even I could have like planned this ahead of time and then try to do it from scratch, but that's kind of like the same thing. I don't know. And now let's go over the drums. They're very simple. They're not, like I said, this track is very Nikes inspired with a little mixture of like everything as a whole on that album. Like I said, he really likes like soft synths and stuff like that, and like live-ish kind of guitars and bass and all of that. And I tried to soften up the claps and the snares with a reverb. It's just a regular reverb. There was nothing fancy on them at all. I don't think I even did anything. I think I just literally applied a free reverb and wrote with that. And then I just got like a little bit of a punchy kick from some random kit. And then this vocal was something that I found somewhere. I can't remember quite where, but I had it in like one of my own personal stashes, which you don't even need. Like, he didn't even use any vocals or anything like that other than his own. I just liked this sound, that was all. You know what I mean? So when you look at this track, there's like what, 9 sounds. For the most part, they're kind of just stacking over each other. So if you want to really count it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sounds, maybe even 7 if you just want to count claps and snares all as one. So these tracks are very, very simple. They're really just voice oriented. Obviously, I'm not an R&B or pop singer, so you're not gonna hear me getting on this and singing. I know that Busy Work Beats does his own kind of raps and vocals and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I'm sure he'll have some type of video on Frank Ocean's album if he hasn't already. I don't know. But yeah, so let's go over some more things. Sound selection is really just one of the biggest things with Frank Ocean kind of stuff in R&B. You want to match, the vibe that they're giving. You can't have like aggressive pads, and you can't really use. I don't really hear like arps and leads necessarily in his kind of stuff. So those are things you want to be kind of cautious of. I'm actually going to take the time to lay this one out so that you guys can just see. And as always, I say it in all my videos for the most part, I'm always trying to keep what I'm doing, even though it is a tutorial on how to get a certain kind of artist or producer sound, I always throw my own kind of thing into it as well, just because, I like to have some originality in there. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just kind of experimenting with the layout. There's certain things that you just kind of learn as a producer from making beats for a while. So that's what I'm trying to fool around with. Whoops. Now, because this is like an R&B-ish pop kind of track, I'm trying to add a lot of variation to the track throughout the little hook verse, whatever you want to call it, just because, a singer's voice can only do so much. So I think that's something as well. It's pretty important is that like Party Next Door kind of music, all that kind of stuff has a lot of transitions and just different things in the track to just keep you interested. Not always, that's not always the case, but in a lot of cases that is. So, I think one of the biggest things I could tell you guys when you want to make a certain kind of artist sound is that you want to listen to their music, and you really, really, really want to spend some time to experiment and figure out how to get that sound, as well as going on YouTube looking for tutorials, like this. And yeah, obviously just practicing every single day is gonna be the biggest game changer to you. You can watch all these videos and do this and that, but if you're not actually spending the time to practice and learn, then it's pretty pointless. So, just keep that in mind if you didn't already know that. Let's play this back one more time. And I think that just about does it, guys. Like I said, I'll have a Tory Lanez video in the next day or two. There's just a whole bunch of stuff going on in my life, not like personal, just music-wise, that I got to get out. Like I said, you guys can also let me know how you feel about, the way I started this video. You can tell me if you just rather me do it scratch. I kind of think I enjoy that personally more, just because instead of that, you guys can actually see the thinking process. But yeah, also let me know what you guys thought about the album in the comments below. Tell me things you did or didn't like about this video, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I really, really, really would appreciate it. That's all for now, guys. Like I said, all the sounds I used in here can be found on my website. Not so much the drums, but I do have free drum kits on there. So anyways, guys, go check that out. Have a great day. God bless.